Hello and welcome to the Feedback Show. I'm Stephen Bradley.
And I'm Colin Bradley.
Today, listeners, it's almost a one-man show as Dad has lost his voice. So nod your head, Dad, if you are here. Good, excellent. He's here. No, I'm joking. You can talk, Dad, can't you?
I can, but it's...
Lost your voice a bit.
Yes, it's a little bit croaky today.
You've been working too hard, I think that's what it is.
Yes, all
you've been
these
pushing
videos
it.
I've been doing.
You've been filming too much. But so we haven't got the camera on today, but we are here and we've got lots of work to get through. So thanks everyone for sending it in. This is obviously the feedback show where we comment on your artwork that you've sent in to us, asking for tips and advice. And this service is available to members of our website. So if you want to learn more about becoming a member, then go to colinbradleyart.com. Let's crack on with the first one, shall we? This is from Isabel. Isabel says, "Hi Colin, I have done 2 paintings of my daughter-in-law on 2 of her horses and I would like your opinion on them, please. Especially the fact that I have not detailed the background. I do wimp out of backgrounds if possible and need to practice your landscapes more, but I wanted to focus on the rider and the horse and also a sense of movement in them. Do you think I should have detailed the background a little more or done something different? Any other observations would be greatly received as I value your opinion. Thank you, Isabel." So you see Isabel's done these 2 pictures here and we're looking at the background that she's added. I know you had an opinion on what you would have done slightly differently here, so do you want to just give a
what I would have done is copied the picture, the photograph, get rid of the car, and copied that as best you can. Certainly made it lighter.
Would you have made it more plain, is what you're saying? Like more of a plain colour?
I would have. You could have put the colour in almost exactly. If you imagine, you've got the darker green at the top and the lighter green at the bottom, haven't you? Follow that. I mean, start off with probably what I would have used is an ivory to start with, all over.
Even at the top end?
Yeah, all over. And then I would have put the greens in, subdued them slightly so that they weren't too bright. I wouldn't want them too bright. And followed that. And once you've done that, you can then just suggest that texture. Just suggest it. Don't try to put it in.
I see.
That would have been better. It would have made the horse and rider stand out better.
Okay. The same over here. I mean, this one there isn't so much contrast in the background, is there?
No.
Would you have put that fence in?
No. I would have copied what you can only copy what you can see.
So again, sort of have that sort of plain. That's more greyish background.
Yeah, but if you look at the grass on Isabel's picture, she's put green in there.
Yeah.
So therefore, I would treat it
as
in
green.
The same tone.
Yeah.
In the background.
It's the similar tones to what she's used here, but over here.
Yeah. I wouldn't have put these streaky bits in.
Make it more simple. Okay. I'm sorry we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on, I mean, we're answering your questions, but obviously we're saving Dad's voice so that he can rest it. But I hope that helps, Isabel. And keep sending your work in. Great job. Okay, Gerard has done this picture of Northern Lights. Here it is. He said, "I attempted this picture of the Northern Lights over a seaside town, Harstead, in the far northwest of Norway. To get to the actual town, I went to Google Maps, downloaded the photos, and went ahead with my pastel pencils. I used a few photos of the Northern Lights from Google that I downloaded and tried to copy 1 or 2 of these. Being my first try at this rather difficult scene, I was loath to use a new dark matte paper, as to make a huge mess of it would be a waste, which is why I used a different coloured paper. I would appreciate Colin's views of my attempt."
Well, the first view I would have is I would have copied 1 of those pictures.
One of them, so you would have picked one as your reference?
I would have done, because when you're trying to mix them up, you're total confusion.
Which one would
Probably
you
the one I would have used is the one on the bottom left.
This one here, yeah?
Yeah, that one. Because it's got a bit of brightness in it, and you could have copied it. You could have used the... you could either use the landmass that he has done already, or follow the one that's there, because I think that's quite pretty.
Okay.
And you've got the orange, which would have been rather nice, and the green contrast, and the green in the rocks as well was rather nice. I'd have copied that picture.
Okay. What tips have you got for doing Northern Lights? And any tips that perhaps Gerard could take on board if he's doing another one?
Well, if you're using pastel matte paper, you wouldn't have too much of a problem. If you're not using pastel matte paper, you have got a problem with it.
Is that because the ombre will only take so much layers?
Yeah.
When it comes to a dark scene,
I would use just dark paper anyway. I'd have gone in for either the dark grey or the dark blue, but probably the dark grey.
Because that helps you with getting to your darker colours.
That's right.
Whereas ombre, you've got to build from a light neutral colour to dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's practice really. I would have practiced that on spare paper.
Getting the lights?
Yeah, no, just one section of that. Just that one section. Just practice trying to get the fusion that's there.
Yes, because that's the thing, isn't it, with Northern Lights is getting it to blend with the sky.
Absolutely. You would have cropped, if you look at that bottom picture, you could have cropped that. Put your little marker on it, so I'll show you. Go in from that side a little. No, miles too much. That's all right, that's fine. Now the other side, come in. No, go further back. I'd like some of that other landmass in there. Yeah, that's not bad. See, that's a better picture, isn't it?
It's good composition, that.
It's a good composition. So that's what I would have done. And of course, the other 2/3 rule comes into play here, Steve. If you're doing Northern Lights in the sky, you need the sky to be the focus.
So would
now, I know that Brian's done that. Gerard's done that, but he's got too much water.
So would you bring it up a little bit?
Yes, that would have been better.
Just sort of focuses your view on the sky a bit more.
Yeah, but again, you see, if you look at the bottom, you could have made the water much, much darker.
Right.
That's what I would have done. I mean, for what it's worth, folks, that's what I would have done.
Okay, well that is a tricky subject, Northern Lights. I mean, I remember when you did the rainbow over the castle and saying, God, this is going to be a challenge just to get a rainbow in the sky. So this is like next level ability. But yeah, great job, Gerard, in giving it a go. I hope those tips,
congratulations on it,
are helpful. And then who knows, maybe one day we'll have a Northern Lights picture. Or an exercise.
Yes, maybe. Yes,
a short exercise. We'll see how you would do it, because I wouldn't know where to start. I'm not an artist, but I wouldn't, knowing what I've seen from you, I don't know how you'd tackle that. Probably a similar way to the rainbow, probably.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know. I've not done it myself, so I can't pass comment on it. But that one in the bottom left is particularly nice. I like that.
Or shall I save that one then?
Yeah, save that one. Right, save that one for me, and I'll put it on my list.
You never know, viewers, what you might see in the future. Okay, next one from Brian. This is what you were predicting, the next one, weren't you, when you said Brian earlier?
Oh, that's right.
Brian said, well, I said I would give it a try, and here's my painting of the constable. I found it very enjoyable and also very difficult to do, and spent about 15 hours doing it. I'm really looking forward to hearing what Colin says about it. I think looking at it, it lacks the darkness of Colin's pictures. I have to say I had trouble getting things dark enough. I did go back and forth every time I returned to it. I saw something that I needed to change or alter. I also noticed my trees seemed to be clumpy, and I have trouble getting them to look real. Colin, please give me a few tips on how to create the proper effect of tree leaves so I don't end up doing them the way mine turned out. Anyway, it was lots of fun, and thank you so much for making it available to try. I think in just doing this picture, it's helped me grow in my artwork, and I did choose to leave the boy out of the picture.
Yeah. Well, my first thoughts are you've done it really, really well. That's a really hard subject. And to do it the way I've done it would take an awful lot of experience and practice. And that's exactly what I would suggest you do. If I were you, I'd practice as many tree pictures as you can of mine, because that's where the problem is. I mean, I've told you many, many times, trees are extremely difficult to do. And there you've got a whole bunch of them. That's my advice. I can't give you any main points because there's so many things I could pick out, and that wouldn't be fair. So my best way I can describe it is look at my picture, look at your picture, you see where you would like to improve it, and practice that. Either not only that, but there are other pictures, many other pictures, much simpler than that. You could just practice first.
And you were saying to me before, when you had a look at this one before we started, you said that Brian's comparing it to yours,
Yes.
side by, and especially with comparing it side by side. If we were to delete and not show, your picture at all, if someone, and he was to hang this on his wall,
Yes.
people were like, wow.
They would, exactly. Exactly.
It's only when you do the comparison that you can see areas for improvement. And even though that is a good thing, Brian can be so proud of himself for doing such a great job.
I think too, when I first started, I looked at pictures and I tried to copy them, and I was hopeless at it. I really was. But gradually, as I got more and more experience, I taught myself how to get certain techniques. And it's only for practice. How many hours have I been painting in the last 33 years?
Yeah, quite a lot.
Every day. I practice every day.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
And I wouldn't have tackled that picture a few years ago because I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'd had it for a while, and I thought, no, I don't think I can do it. You have to be ready to do something like that. And Brian really wasn't ready, but credit to him. He's had a crack at it, and he's enjoyed it. That's the most important thing, as long as you enjoy doing your artwork.
Yeah. Excellent. Well done, Brian. Keep practicing. We look forward to seeing more of your work. Next one from Ian, this bit of advice now. Hi, Colin and Steve. I've been having tremendous fun drawing with you in pastels. I only just discovered you a few months ago and have now joined the Drawing Animals. Great fun, and what a great teacher you are. So calm and passionate. I want to draw my son's dog, Vinny, but I cannot find a colour combination. He is a strange colour. Are you able to help with this? And if so, I can send you a photo and finish with professional comments. He looks different colours in different lights. So, Ian...
Well, first thing, may I just say straight away, 2 photographs, totally different.
Yes.
The colour, this is the problem you have with photography. Which one is the right one? You wouldn't know. But the one I would choose would be the one on the left.
Yeah.
Without doubt.
Let's definitely focus on this one.
I would crop it.
Yeah, so we're going to come down.
Come down a bit higher. Yeah, no, a bit higher. Yeah, that's all right. And then come up. No, you want a little bit more. That's it. Perfect.
Guess.
And then come in. You can guess that. I would come in. Yes, come in. No, you can't come in that tight, I don't think. That's all right. You see, the reason I've got, you see that corner there, you never really want to have an animal running into a corner.
Oh, that's a good tip.
It's a very good tip. You have to either go further back or...
break that, yes.
But that's really nice. Now, obviously, you lose all the background. You'll
collar?
Just... Collar, get rid of it.
Yeah, no collar.
Sometimes you have a problem with a collar because it pulls the animal in.
Yes.
Well, that one doesn't. That's not pulling at all, so you wouldn't have any problem in just
making up what you're missing out. Yeah.
And that would be very nice. It's a good lighting.
Yeah.
I love the design. You've got everything going for you there.
So what colours would you use to get to that brownish grey?
To start with. You've got to use the greys, and I would use the warmer greys. 270, 273.
So 270 in the light areas, 273 in the dark.
That's right, yeah. And then you put the I would use, you've got to be careful here. The 169 would certainly come into the equation, but not straight away. You'd have to...
Would you have 169 a lot around here?
Well, yes, you would.
Because it's very mauvey. It's a little bit mauvey brown.
And that's why it would work in the animal too.
Because you have it in the nose. It wouldn't be out of harmony elsewhere in the... Yeah.
But you'd have to use a brown. No, you'd have to play with the browns, because once you put the greys on, whatever brown you put on is going to turn it that colour anyway. You know, I would say the 176, possibly. You'd have to practice it though. and get as close as you can. But you've got to, the 169 could be added at any time, really, that you find the colour. You've got to remember that you're not going to get that colour exactly. You've got to compromise on that.
We did do a blog post actually on this. I know we were going to do the cropping on the feedback show, but if anyone's looked at the blog post, it is on our website where you went into a fair bit of detail with the colours.
Oh, right.
A bit more detail. But ultimately what you're saying there is the basic way of getting those colours. And that cropped image sort of gives a bit of a good indication of the composition that you use.
Just remember, don't run into a corner with your
animal
line.
Great tip.
Or anything comes to that. Portraits, anything. Don't run into a corner.
Great one. Thanks, Ian. All the best with that picture. Next one from Sally. Again, this is a blog post on our website about drawing ginger fir. So she's had this picture for 6 months now. Keep starting it, but can't get that ginger colour. So this is Sally's picture on the right, her attempt here. I remember when you were saying before we started and also in the blog post that Sally's possibly used a bit too much base colour.
There is a colour here that I can help you with, 188.
Sanguine, isn't it? Sanguine.
That's right.
Or something.
It's a lovely colour, and it is already gingery colour. You can't put it straight on. You've got to build it up. The 186 is... But if you put 186, it won't look like that.
No.
But if you put 186 and then put 188 on top of 186, it will look like that.
Interesting. So what colour would you use as your base colour for the light and then the dark? Would you...
I probably would go something like ivory to start with, because that's you can see ivory in the animal there, or in the photograph. Now, the argument could be that, yes, but it's not ivory, it's a white. But the photograph's not. And this is what you've got to go by.
The tint of the photo
You've got to follow the photograph, whatever you do. Because if you're going to change the colour, of the white, you've got to change the colour of the fur.
I see, because that overall tonal colour influence is across the whole picture.
Exactly. So you can't have one colour, as we found out with the Northern Lights. You can't do that. You've got to follow one picture. And if it's wrong, or the customer said, I'm sorry, that's not my cat. Well, I'm sorry, give me a picture that's more like your cat then.
So this area here, that's ivory.
It is ivory.
And then that's going to influence these ones here. So what about darker areas? What kind of these darker areas?
Well, you can still put the ivory on, because you can darken that. There's no real major dark areas in that picture.
No, it's true.
It's sort of medium tones, aren't there? But you want to get to that colour as quickly as you can. Once you put the ivory on, you've got to work on your 186s.
And it's not a strong layer of ivory, would it be? It wouldn't be like a thick ivory, because you want to leave gaps in the paper for other colours.
No, you can't do that. Not with that. You've got to have a blanket colour of ivory. Otherwise, when the 186 hits raw paper, it's going to show up too much, too strong. You've got to mute it. That's what you've got to do. The idea is.
Gotcha.
I know sometimes I've said that, but in this case, it wouldn't work. But you put white on Sally's done that. She's got white on the cat, but you need the ivory on the cat.
Yeah, in the white quote unquote.
And not
areas.
Just ivory. There are other colours as well. You can put even the that sort of browny tone that you've got under the mouth. You'll have to find that colour, and that can be surprising colours. You could use. I'm just thinking of a colour you could use. 179 is one, 180 is another. If you look at the colour, you think, no way I could put that on there. But once you put the white and the ivory on, and even a little grey, warmer grey, 270, 273.
Just tempers that tone.
Just temper it down a little bit and then add the colours.
Interesting.
It'd be amazing what you can do. And once again, you've got to remember, when you're doing any picture, you can change, you've got artistic license to change the tone slightly. You're never going to get it exactly the same.
Okay. Wow. Ginger fir is not easy, is it?
Oh, no.
I remember you saying...
How many ginger cats have I done?
No, that's very true. Okay, all the best, Sally, with that. Let us know how you go on. Next one from Gabrielle. Hi Steve and Colin, this was a recent painting done with faber-castell pastel pencils. The red was done with carbothello. It's an Australian red-tailed black cockatoo. My biggest struggle was not being sure what colour background I should use, especially with pastel mat. The rubbing in was a lot harder than on your pastel paper. Otherwise, I'm not sure if I should have used more contrast for the shadows and the lights.
No, I think you've done it brilliant there. That's probably what I would have done. As far as the rubbing in with pastel mat, you're absolutely right. It is hard, but what you've got to do is persevere. You put a base colour on, and the other thing is you don't have to put as many colours as you do with the ombre. So it depends what colour what colour has she used?
I don't think she says which colour pastel mat she's used.
Okay. Well, if you're using a light pastel mat or a dark pastel mat, you have to put a base colour on first. I'm currently doing a picture. And what I had a problem because I had to put water in. Now the water is an impressionistic picture, and I had to put the water following the artist's picture. And I thought, I'm not going to be able to do this. So the only way I could think of doing it was to put a layer, and I'm using the light grey.
Light green. Oh, light grey.
No, light grey. I put a layer of 230 on, and that gave me the base, and then into that I put the blues.
Interesting.
And some, what else did I put? A little bit of white, and I put a little bit of I use a Creta colour. It's called dark tan, but it's nothing like tan at all. They've definitely got that wrong. It's more of a light mauvey colour, very light. I put that on, rubbed it in. Now, we've already rubbed the 230 in.
Yeah.
I had to rub that in because it didn't look right. And then, on top of that, I put the blue on top of that.
Wow, gosh.
And that worked.
So it's perseverance.
So it's a lot, a lot of perseverance.
Layers. Yeah.
But you can do it with pastel mat, you can do it.
Yeah.
You can put layers on. But I think you've done a brilliant job.
Yeah.
Well done on that. I don't think I would have changed it. I thought maybe you could change the tone, but I don't know. You see, the worst thing you could have done is to try to copy what you see.
Yeah, that would. The background choice, I feel like, is a really good compliment to the subject.
And the mount too. You've done a brilliant job of the mount too. Whoever's that's for is going to be really pleased with that. Brilliant.
Oh, well done, Gabrielle. Lovely job. Bit of advice now for Sue. Sue says, a friend of mine would like me to do this picture for him. I thought of pastels or maybe black and white charcoal would be better. Any thoughts on how I'm going to tackle this one?
I tell you what I would do. I'd use, we're talking about light grey pastel mat, weren't we? That's what I'd do for this. I'd use a light grey pastel mat and I'd do it in black and white.
Pastel pencils.
Pastel pencils, yeah. You could use black and, I mean, the thing is about pastel pencils, you can do different colours. Not just black and white, but basically you can vary the tone.
You got the for example, the Fordwich grey tone. You used, I think, it was 5 different tones within that picture. So you've got different tones, and also Sue can use other ranges. You know, like there's a few different colours in Creta colour. You know, that are sort of.
You've got to be careful though, because if you use greys. Sometimes the greys have got colours in them. You don't realise it, but they are. So I'm looking at that again. I think I would stick to the black and white, just black and white.
Really?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you've got hues in your...
You can have hues in there that change it slightly. See?
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could use the black and white charcoal that you suggested there. Black and white, the charcoal is very hard.
Messy.
Oh. You get in the right state. And to be honest, I don't think you'd make it as good a job as you would with a pastel pencil.
Because of the precision that you can get. Oh, there you go, Sue. Good luck.
Oh, yes, good luck.
Does not look easy, but we look forward to seeing how you get on. Okay, last one today from Liz. Liz says, I have very recently commenced an all-in art course and only wish I had more time, as I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I find the pastel pencils great to work with and the videos very easy to follow. I'd be very grateful for some feedback on my first work, the boats in landscape, please. In particular, the rocks under the trees, which I found most difficult. That said, I drew my own picture to include some rocks and have attached both here. So
you've done exactly the right thing. First of all, as it's your first picture, I think you've done brilliantly. Fortunately, when you started that, you weren't to know that trees are hard, but you've done a good job, considering. Rocks are a nightmare. All through my teaching courses, I've had problems with rocks. No one has been able to do them. And I've had some good artists. The reason is they take on their own form.
Yeah, same with trees. There's no structure.
No. But I like what you've done on the right there.
The practice picture, yeah.
And I would practice more and more and more, and you'll get it in the end. You will get it.
Yeah.
But they are really hard. But we've got lots of pictures with rocks in. So copy some more. The other thing you could have done there, I mean, it's a bit late now, but if once you realised that you were going to have a problem with rocks, I'd minimise the amount of rocks you put in.
Right.
I'd just
take a bit of artistic license.
Just get rid of them.
Get a few less.
Yes. I mean, it's a defeatist attitude, but that would have helped you a bit. Rockless beach and a rockless bank.
No trees.
Oh no, you've got to put the trees in.
No, they look good.
No, I think you've done very well. The distant hill in the background you could have used a colour shaper on that. If you haven't got one, all you would do with that is put some more white on and then put some more blue on and keep doing it until
it sort of fades.
You fade it back, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
that
point.
would have made a little bit of difference, but nonetheless, I think you've done brilliantly there. I look forward to seeing more of your work.
Lovely. Okay, yeah, that's it for this time. Thanks everyone that sent in their work. We'll be back in a few weeks' time, no doubt, with more work that has been sent in to us. And as always, if you have any requests for feedback, then please email them to us with your reference photo, if it's not one of our art courses, and any areas that you want us to help you with, and we'll talk about it on the show. So thanks, Dad, for sparing your last bits of voice for the show, and we'll see you all in a few weeks' time. Thanks everyone for listening and watching us. I'm Stephen Bradley.
I'm Colin Bradley.
Bye for now.